Most people think that all zoos are the same. If you live in the Gallatin area, you've probably been to the Nashville Zoo and have at least heard of the Memphis Zoo, if not been. Today we're going to discuss the differences between them. Growing up, I always had a passion for animals, and my parents took any and all opportunities through our different vacations to bring me to any zoos. Through this presentation, we'll learn which zoo is bigger, which zoo is more diverse, and finally, what the zoos have done with their lifespans. Let's jump on in. So, Nashville Zoo has, according to their website, they have 3,000 animals that represent around 320 different species, whereas the Memphis Zoo has around 350 animals that represent 500 different species. And then the Nashville Zoo has around 190 acres, according to Kumar, which is a traveling agency representative. And then the Memphis Zoo only has around 80 acres, which is according to Caitlin Huff, which is a representative of the WKRN News Network. So you can see their different maps that they've just spaced it out differently. The Memphis Zoo is a lot more compact. Even though they only have 80 acres, they represent a lot more animals, whereas the Nashville Zoo is spread out, but they have less animals altogether. In 1906 is when the Nashville Zoo, in 1991 is when the Nashville Zoo opened its doors. And then in 2006, they opened their safari expansion, which if you've ever been is the very back with the giraffes, and they just added rhinos and the elephants. And then in 2014, the city of Nashville gave them $10 million to kick off their campaign. And then in 2019, they opened their veterinary center. Whereas the Memphis Zoo, according to their website, founded their park commission in 1901, and then 5 years later in 1906 they had their first resident join them, which is a bear named Natch, who was soon joined by other abandoned animals, and that was like the start of their zoo. And then according to Action News 5 is when they opened their cat country, which if you've ever been is kind of the center of it all, where they have their lions and their tigers and a puma. Since then they haven't done a whole lot else. So in conclusion, the Memphis Zoo is a lot smaller, but they're more diverse, whereas the Nashville Zoo is bigger but has less animals represented. But overall, the Nashville Zoo is doing more with their time and their lifespan. They're always having new events, and they're building and expanding. Even recently, they've been doing like a light show. This past couple months ago, I saw them advertising for that, whereas the Memphis Zoo hasn't really been publicly announcing any big changes. So I hope you learned something and that you are as excited to go to one of these zoos or both as I am.